Yo, 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 yo! First and foremost, thank you very much to each and every one of you for coming down to the first Open Social event done by Open Source, obviously. I'm a bit nervous, that's the reason why I'm moving around. But in saying that, legit, this whole thing is purely for unity, man. Unity and awareness to everyone that's doing things in the area. The main thing that I want everyone to get out of tonight is pretty much to have the future in focus. Reason being is because every single person in this room is working on something much larger than themselves. But the thing is, we don't know that purely because there has never been a moment where we've all been together. So I know this is set as a networking event, if anything, although this is more of a celebration in all honesty. Because when was the first time this ever happened? But in saying that, I'd like to bring up the first panel for discussion. We'll primarily be talking about events, entrepreneurship, as well as the larger scope of Western Sydney. So I'd like to bring up to the chair, Peter from Grounded Space, Maria from Blacktown Arts, and Lillian from Casula Powerhouse. Thank you very much for coming. Would you got that? Sweet. I guess we'll kick it off. Would you all like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah. Hi everyone. My name is Lillian and I work at Casula Powerhouse Art Centre. I produce music, theatre and events at the venue. So Casula Powerhouse is the cultural facility of Liverpool City Council. So technically I work for Liverpool City Council, but Casula exists, or the Powerhouse exists as its art centre. So it's a museum gallery space. There are 6 galleries and there are also 4 live performance venues. And live performance, I guess, includes everything from like local grassroots like music nights to big festivals like Soft Centre. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of Soft Centre, but they support kind of international and local musicians in this one-day experimental light sound music festival. So I do everything that isn't on the walls, exhibition and stuff at this place, at this art centre in Western Sydney.
All by yourself, you must be tired.
Oh no, I have like a million brilliant interns. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Maria. I work at your local Blacktown Art Centre in Blacktown. It's a council facility, but we're really trying to funk it up and work with partners like Open Source and this amazing man here on his phone at the moment, Ian Iskandar. I'm the performance curator, and basically it's a fancy word for putting together some programs that mean something to local people that want to come and engage. And it's not all at the Art Centre. We do stuff in laneways and nursing homes, and we did a Sydney Festival show in a graveyard last year with the Aboriginal Performing Arts Company. So we're really open to hearing about what you guys want and envisage for arts and cultural programs. And I'm also a singer and a songwriter in a band with this wonderful man over here again who's on his phone. Woohoo! Called Worlds Collide. And so my side passion is bringing cultures together in music and festival landscape and just creating, the Western Sydney sound for music. It's all about diversity and cross art or cross music genres, and not trying to put the Australian music industry into a box. We're all many things when it comes to music, so I'm all for diversity.
Hello, my name is Peter. I feel like I sound boring next to you.
Oh, sorry. I have a performance background.
Yeah, definitely. I've got 0 creative ability whatsoever. I cannot sing. I also hate microphones, which I told Ricky about, but awesome. Thank you. Anyway, so I run Grounded Space, which is a co-working space in cafe in Parramatta. Josh has joined me. He's one of our managers of the cafe in Parramatta. We've got 2 locations. Basically, we're trying to facilitate growth for startups in Western Sydney. Ricky's recently come on board to help us out as well, and it's really cool to see that so many people from Western Sydney can come together with a common goal. So, pretty excited for today, and thanks for having us.
100%. Thank you very much for coming on board. It's really So how I wanted to kick it off. At this present moment, so this is technically the new wave coming up, especially in Western Sydney. There's a lot of buzz going around in Western Sydney. So to have everyone's thoughts heard, voices heard, and perspective heard, I pretty much wanted to ask the three of you, what's your current view on the overall landscape of Western Sydney at this present moment? And what direction do you think it's going towards? So this doesn't have, this can be about anything pretty much. Business, social, politics, whatever your kind of thought process is on the area essentially. Who wants to go first?
Well, I think Western Sydney is thriving. I think Western Sydney is where it's at in terms of specifically music. A lot of the best music actually comes out of the West. But I think as someone who works in an arts centre in a very institutional space, which has been seen predominantly as a place for work that you buy in from other places, I know that I think that idea for programming or attitude is coming to an end, because actually what we have and what is the most interesting, the interesting pieces of programming, whether it be music, visual arts, fashion, performance, is actually already here. So I know that it's interesting working for a council, right? Because they are they're often seen as the machine or the bad guy, or that have processes and bureaucracies that aren't necessarily open to listening. But I think that really changes with who you involve in your programs if you work for an arts centre or space. And I know that I think music really brings people together, and also collective action really brings people together. There's not, ideas don't happen in isolation. So what I do, at the Sula, I guess, when I arrived, I've only been, in the role for really, I guess about a year and a half. But I started a night called Sleep Back Live, which was an expression of interest-based program, where basically it was just a Google form that I promoted around and asked musicians to apply. That's just an example, I think, of how you actually see what talent is out there. But I guess you also I think Western Sydney is often a place that people who aren't from Western Sydney or have never spent any time in see it as a place that people don't want to leave. And I think that's completely untrue. It's all happening here, and there's no absolute, And I think that perception is slowly changing, but it also needs a lot of work. The action, the way that you change that is through collectives like open source, people coming together, and I guess throwing celebratory events and exploring what it means to create a collective voice. I know that's what I plan to do in my job and in my role. So if anyone ever wants to talk to me about a project you have or anything you want to do, we can chat after that. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, touching on that point, I guess one thing is, I think historically, a lot of people are ashamed of the West, or we're too afraid to say that we're from the West because of judgment that's made from people from other, eastern suburbs, for example. And it's, you're from the West, you poor thing. And I think that's recently changed, though. It's not so much, you poor things. It's lucky you guys, there's so much happening out west, for example, in Parramatta, it's now considered the second CBD of Sydney, and I suppose being part of that, we're seeing a lot of government organisations come on board, and it's really interesting to see, because as they come on board, they're also seeing that there's a city, and in chatting to a lot of them, we always hear, wow, we didn't realise how busy and popular Parramatta is. But as a direct result, everything around Parramatta is also getting busy. So I got to do a tour of Liverpool Council, actually. They invited me to go and check it out, and it was great because it's just buzzing. And even though I'm from Western Sydney, I haven't really gone to Liverpool. So then when I went to Liverpool, I was like, it's all happening here as well. But then I found myself in the same mindset that people from the city were from. So sometimes I think to change that, we need to make the change ourselves, if that makes sense. But I think, there's a lot happening in Western Sydney, and I guess, kind of what you're saying, that, where people thought, you didn't want to, leave the bubble, but I mean, there's also a reason not to. Not that we don't want to expand our minds or anything like that, but it's just that there's so much happening here that we don't necessarily have to go to the city to check out a cool place. I mean, look how amazing this place is here. You know, we don't have to go to Newtown for stuff like that. So I think that's really cool to see.
I just echo that. There's 48% cultural diversity in Western Sydney. Man, we've got that over the eastern suburbs. Like we've got so much, the diversity in the First Nations communities here. We've got one of the largest urban Aboriginal populations too. That's gold as well. So I think our identity makes us so different. And within that, just the potential for all the arts and culture, the music, the stuff we're doing. I don't want to be anywhere else. And I'm born here, grew up here, love it here. And in terms of arts and cultural stuff we do at the Arts Centre, we want to work with local artists to help profile their work, their vision. Because I really believe what we can produce is different to what's existing with Greater Sydney or the world. So we're all about creating work locally to export it nationally and internationally. And I think I'm really impressed with Western Sydney and we're hot and we're rocking.
100%. I'm sure every single person in this audience knows that Western Sydney is currently where it's at. In saying that, and giving your points, like giving your views, giving your vision, giving your thoughts and feelings towards how the future is going to be progressing, what are you currently doing, project-wise, events-wise, anything-wise, in cultivating and in manifesting your view of the future of the way you see Western Sydney in the future?
I recently applied for a strategic opportunities funding grant, not bloody boring is that title, through the state arts funding body, to develop a program engaging artists and communities in their own neighbourhoods. So bringing arts and culture out of this institution, man. Like you can't expect everyone to come to an art centre all the time. A white man filled art centre. Sorry, I don't mean to offend people. I'm just saying there's, some issues for some communities with that historically. But so it's called Magnify, and it's 8 new arts and cultural events, multi-art film festival, embedded in the neighbourhoods, laneways, nursing homes. We're doing a short film festival at Blacktown Showground. There's a couple of events at the Arts Centre, but it's all happening in August and September. And I have the pleasure of mentoring dudes like Open Source and Ian. They're leading on the youth project called Spoken, which is hip hop, breakdance. You talk about it in a lane in Mount Druitt.
We're pretty much running a block party in Mount Druitt, which has never been done. So that's going to be
really safe though, for council, really safe.
Like why?
So for me, the future of programming is meeting you guys and finding out what's on the grassroots and working with you on your terms in your neighbourhoods. Like there's a storyteller, he's an elder from the Ethiopian community. Man, this guy's like a modern day Jesus. He's so loving and he works as a community liaison officer at the Blacktown Police Station for 15 years. His name's Asefa Fakele. Has anyone met him? Anyway, he's an emerging writer. So we've got a theatre director to work with him to help tell his story and his view on contemporary Australian African communities. And he said to me, Maria, when I tell stories in Africa, I do it with food and there's music and we sit around like this. I said, man, you're so right. Let's do it at your local Ethiopian restaurant. He goes, yep, let's make that happen. So one of these projects is up the road in Main Street, the Abyssina Ethiopian restaurant. And he's telling his stories. And so you get to eat their food, hear his stories, see some music. So I think as programmers, we need to challenge ourselves and really listen to what's going on, what people want. But, kind of creating that space where we can be innovative. Because it's contemporary art. This is contemporary art. It's about contemporary issues and we're making stuff in the here and now. It doesn't have to be what's on the DMCA, man. We're just a
I think that's something I think about a lot as like a programmer. And a lot of time, a lot of people are like, what's your program like? And I don't think, it's not my program. I don't own a program. The best way to actually program is to make space for other people who have really good ideas. Because I don't have all the ideas. In fact, all of you in this room probably have some pretty awesome ideas that are much better than mine. But like I said, it doesn't exist in isolation. So I'm a really big believer in collectives and collective action and that kind of that sort of collective accountability in order to create social change. So at Casula Powerhouse, which is my job, it's my remit to kind of program at this centre, which is an institution, but is also an old power station that provided power to the local area after the 50s, after urban sprawl. And before that, before the powerhouse existed and post-invasion, it was very like a place for colonial, like a pleasure garden. And before that, it was a meeting with very different indigenous nations, like a meeting place. So it is kind of, I think, like, although community isn't just geography, the community of Casula, like the geography of Casula House is really, really interesting. And I guess within that space, I run the youth committee. So the youth committee is a collective of young people. It's a grassroots organisation. They're aged 15 to 25. We meet once a month, and they essentially program 4 to 5 events at the Arts Centre. So they have an arts market called Arts Meets West, which is local produce and live music. They also create an event called A Place at the Table, which is essentially 10 different cultures telling their stories of how they connect to like their heritage through food. So it's a food-based event. And we also have a program, a residency program for young people aged 18 to 25, which I actually personally think might be a little ageist. Like, I don't know if when you've emerged as an artist, like I think it was important not to have such strict brackets on things. But basically, like, that's a program for like an EY-based program for a group of young people to get together, and we actually explore the history of the centre, which I think, like, understanding the structure of an institution, but knowing that in perpetuity with that institution, there's also the relationships that happen there between artists, between people making things. Like, that's what culture is relationships and talking, and it's emotive. So this program specifically is a group of young people, 30 people, who go through the history of the centre. Then people pitch works, visual arts, performance, and pieces of writing that are going to be part of the anniversary of the centre, which is this year in October. So I guess alongside, buying in work, it's really important, I think, to make programs that are accessible for people to apply, who also maybe don't have the language to know what they want to do. Like, not every artist, I think, you don't know the work that you want to make until you've been in a collective, been inspired, chatted it out with someone. And I don't think it's always in a formal setting. Like, I think it's really important to have meeting places like this, which are informal, where you can discuss your ideas and network. But there's also got to be a bit of structure. So I guess really those collectives and those ensemble programs is probably what will eventually create social change. And eventually there won't be any programming at Casula Powerhouse that is all work. We'll all be programming that's created by local people. So that's what I'm working towards. But at the same time, we've also got to be entertained, right? So sometimes we've got to go see really good contemporary music. Like, imagine if FKA Twigs could play. Not that, actually I can afford that, but it'd be brilliant.
Amazing. Okay, so this is for, I'm going to put this, the business owners and the entrepreneurs in the room, essentially. Like, in essence, every single person in this room that's working towards something is their own startup in better terms of a word. So I guess this question would be more directed towards you, Peter. Pretty much, I wanted you to talk about some of the fuck-ups you had in your journey today, and what would be your advice in overcoming those type of obstacles going forward?
How much time do you guys have? In starting up, man, I fucked up a lot of times, like way too much, and it's cost me a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of resources, relationships, kind of everything. I think one of the mistakes is kind of listening to the wrong people. So, often we idolize people and we think, oh, fuck, they're so successful, I want to be like them, I'm going to listen to what they say, and they suggest something, and it might not sit right in your gut, but you're like, fuck it, I want to be like them, so I'm going to listen to them. And then you go and you listen to them, and then, just like your gut was telling you, you end up making that mistake. So often, one thing that I really learned was to trust my gut and my intuition, and to really not, just stop idolizing people and, take it for what it is. So if I want to achieve something, if that's my goal, I'm not going to let other people's views necessarily deter me from getting to that. And one thing I really recommend is finding like-minded people who have a common goal. Because if you can do that, then it's kind of like that little fuel to keep you going. Whereas if you've got all that negative bullshit happening and people telling you you can't, or what are you doing, just go get a 9-to-5 job, then that's cool, but it's not really exciting anymore, And I think everyone here, you're here for a reason. So, if you want that 9-to-5, there's nothing wrong with it, and I'm not saying that there is, but chasing that excitement, I think you really need to surround yourself with like-minded people and positive people. And then in saying that, one fuck up I did was not listening to people. So it's one of those things, it's really hard to balance because, for example, I'm not really experienced in leasing negotiations, for example. So taking out a large lease for a shop, when we were starting up, I had no idea what I was doing, and there was no one really who I knew who had been in that position before who I could ask advice from. So the only way to learn was to fuck up. So, agreeing to terms that were ridiculous. And in hindsight now, I know a lot better, and I really feel like as we go, I'll be able to save a lot more money on future endeavors. But, sometimes don't be afraid to dive in and make those mistakes. As long as you've got the, the guts to just keep going. And what's the word I'm after? The perseverance. Yeah. Resilience is the new word I was after, because you get knocked down a lot, and having a strong team, having other people in your team that are positive as well is amazing, because it's easy to hire anyone, for example, in a business, but that could also be your biggest mistake, hiring someone who's really good at sales, for example. That might actually be really bad for you. As good as they are, they might make $1 million sales for you and make you lots of money, but they just take you down the wrong path. So sometimes you might want to go a bit slower, but go in the right direction. So sometimes, you can't you can't get too excited and kind of go with, yeah, fuck, shit's happening, let's just ride with it and stick to your your North Pole, North Star, sorry. Yeah, taking the wrong advice is probably the biggest fuck-ups. Biggest things that result in fuck-ups, really.
Cool. So what I want to sort of get people to understand is that things in life are quite cyclical, and a lot of things happen in patterns of anything. I mean, we look at our current life and we feel that everything is essentially unique. Although, what I wanted to ask, this is probably more tending towards Maria and Lillian as well as you, Peter, as well. Given that this is a whole new generation of creatives, I wanted to ask, what similarities can you see between this generation of creatives and past generations of creatives in their journey going forward, and more in essence, what signs should they look for in order for them to capitalize? I don't know if that's I'm just gonna let you guys answer that question as best you can, because I can't explain it.
I'll start off though. One thing that I've noticed with this generation versus previous generations, I guess, is we're a lot more fearless. So my parents, for example, were too scared to take that risk and that leap of faith, and I feel like this generation, we're a lot more bold. We're willing to take that leap and give something a go. We're not afraid to fail, and I think that's an amazing thing that's gonna, really take things to the next level, because there would have been people before us with, so much capability, but because they never took the leap of faith, they'll never know what they could have achieved. So I think it's really cool that we're all kind of a little more gutsy, and by having events like this as well, it just encourages that, for us to push the limits and the boundaries.
You've got the digital space working for you. I remember when I was in my 20s in a rock band, printing flyers and bloody, having to get money for ink and promote the gigs coming up. We didn't have the digital space, so I'm sure you're all using it, and it's how to use it smartly and positively for your advantage. And just network. It all comes back to networking, and the Western's here, whether it's in that digital space. I had to do it on the grassroots in my early career, but it all comes back to relationships. And my partner and I started up our own music business because there was no world music or cultural diverse music coming out of Western Sydney or in the music industry. It was just rock bands. And we're like, man, we want to jam with that really cool tabla player or that hood player. I'm
really bored with the rock and roll instruments, and so we just started doing our own thing like you guys, started to learn how to write grant applications. I don't know if this is, how many artists are here? Yeah. Not bullshit artists, creative artists. But is anyone here live in Blacktown? LGA? Yeah. Oh, so where are you guys from? More Western Sydney? Check out your local council. They might have a small grant program for artists every year. That's what councils do for their residents. They have invest in arts and culture. So if you live in their area, you can apply it to. It's small, but they get to know who you are. You get a bit of money, like Blacktown offers $2,000. If you're an artist, you just want to develop the skills and whatever you want to do with your arts business or cultural business. Man, that money's just sitting there. Just practice applying. Grant writing was the biggest thing that changed my indie business life. So my partner and I were really crap at it, and then got some mentorship and just had to keep having goes and started applying to local councils, East New South Wales, little grants, and then bigger grants, state arts funding, national arts funding. So knowing where there are resources really helped us. So that's like the cash resources, then in-kind resources. Going to the council going, I've got 5, 6 bands in our collective, we want to do an event, most of them live in your area, can we have your venue for free? How can we work together? So that kind of, leveraging all that stuff. And because you live in the local council area, does anyone have a relationship with their local council? Cool. I had none in my 20s, man. I had no idea. And now as a council worker, you can get so much out of us by, either the grant stuff that's online, talking to the right people. So if you're into the arts, find out who the cultural planner is. If they don't have an arts and culture section or an arts centre, there's a cultural planner that's doing stuff with arts constantly. Venues, you need venues, just talk to someone, anyone, see what they got on their list of community venues. Use your council, you pay rates. Just figure it out, I had to figure it out. So we, in-kind support. It was just really being, I think, figuring out where we can get our support from and working together and networking is really good.
Yeah, I think also it's really amazing how many artists there are in this room and how many skills that individual artists have as individuals, but when you come together, you can make a collective. Like someone might have amazing graphic design skills, someone's a musician, someone's really good at video editing, someone's really knows a booking agent, and with that the power combined, I think that's like something that future generations weren't able to do because they didn't have social media. They weren't able to connect on online platforms. I also think a different, and something really important to do, which I didn't do that much when I was younger, because I had a performance practice, as an actor and a performer, is also call yourself an artist. Whenever you're in a room and someone's like, are you an artist? Just be like, yes, I am, and this is what I do. Because confidence, and actually I feel like you can't, it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If we talk about signs, it is something that once it's within you, and once you start to actually promote yourself to others and believe in that, then people hear you, and that's part of the journey internally and outwardly. And I think also, going to networking events is really difficult because we're all really busy and tired, or it's Sydney, Western Sydney, it's we're all working so hard, and I feel like everyone's hustling, but also just showing up and then not being afraid to have one good conversation with someone, even if you're really introverted. I'm a natural introvert, I'm on this panel, so it's not being shy, just being hey, if I make that one really good connection, write down their name, and don't be afraid to follow that person up if you think that you have something that you could do together. Because I think everyone actually wants to connect, and everyone has lots of skills in this creative community. It's just understanding and not being afraid to make those connections within yourself. Yeah, and call yourself an artist and represent yourself, because that's key.
100%. Alright, so how much time do we have left, okay? Alright, so I'm going to open it up to the audience. If anyone has any questions that they would like to ask one of the 3 panel members, put your hands up. We'll just close it.
Okay, I already asked Pete this question. Next one was you. I'm not sure of the name, sorry. Maria. Is there a difference in high performance? Like being addicted to your craft and dedicated, is there a difference?
No, you tell me. I guess as long as, what are you aiming for and what are you trying to achieve? If the addiction's working against you and you're not getting any outcomes, yeah, I think it's a negative. It's really hard, I think, as an artist, getting critical feedback, getting rejected. So something can be really, really take that in a real negative way and really, really try and perfect what you're doing and perfecting and it's not enough, and at some point you've just got to just believe in it, just let go of that. Yeah.
Hey, so we've talked a lot about being young and being the future of Western Sydney. I feel like, especially when you're very young, you can feel like you're falling behind or you're not pushing hard enough. How do you, throughout your careers or in your personal life, how do you stay hungry and keep pushing for more?
I think that we live in a really like optically high performance culture where it's really hard to sometimes feel like you're doing enough because it's really easy to compare yourself to other people because of digital and social media. So sometimes it's like, I don't know, I now work a 9-to-5 job, but also if you work in the arts, it's always going to be more than 9 to 5. But I'm really lucky and privileged to have a job in the arts, so I love to do that, and that's what I do. But I guess sometimes, I mean, this is on a really like specific level. It's okay to turn your notifications off your phone and actually tell yourself, I'm going to just sit and do this piece of work for 1 hour, 2 hours, then put them back on and then connect with your friends. Because I think the nature of comparison is really difficult with social media, but I also think it's addictive to want to connect with other people and not be able to just focus on the task at hand. So that's in the day-to-day how I like to do work. And then also sometimes it's okay to look at how far you've come. Like if you actually sit down and think what was I doing 2 years ago? I just graduated uni, or I just written a song, but I hadn't got a booking agent, I hadn't even begun to form a group, or I applied for this grant, but I didn't get it, but now it's actually good to sit back and go, no, look at how much I've evolved, because it makes you feel like there's nothing wrong with celebrating yourself in that moment. And I think that we don't do enough of actually congratulating each other as well, and paying compliments forward. So I don't know, if you're ever feeling really burnt out, sometimes I call a friend and I'm like, oh hey, your work's amazing. And they're like, no, your work's amazing. And then it's like a compliment sandwich. So that's more on a personal level. That's what I like to do.
I think try not to compare yourself with everyone else and what they're doing. Because no matter what you do, you always think someone's doing more, someone's doing better, or whatever it is. But I don't know, take a look at where you are and what you're trying to achieve, because someone might be aiming for, the stars, someone's aiming for something else. And there's nothing wrong with that, it's, wherever you are. But I think another thing is also setting realistic goals. I speak a lot about that with people, people oh, I just want to go to the gym 7 days a week, but is that realistic? And then they try to go and they go one day and they're like, oh, screw it, I'm giving up, I'm not going to the gym. So I think no matter what it is that you're trying to achieve, if you set a realistic goal and you achieve it, you feel so much better. So then you've got the fuel to keep going. It's cool, instead of 1 performance, I want to do 2 performances and 3 or whatever it is. So realistic goals.
I think I just add knowing why you want to do something. So I create music now just to be positive, to put some positive stuff out there. In my 20s, it's all that heartbreak and all that motor. But right now, I don't want to be a rock star anymore, it's all different for me. I know why I want to go to music practice, and I know why I go to work, because I want to create pathways for other communities and artists, and I want to create change in my own neighbourhood, and just being really generous with yourself. It took me 2 years to do one video outside of my day job. I've got 2 young kids. Man, I thought I'd never get back into music. But knowing that at the end of the day, when I go to bed, is acknowledging and respecting the creativity. You're an artist and you have to express yourself in this lifetime. And I'll always come back to that and finding and setting some goals that work for me. And being around people that get what I do and build me up and don't put me down and go, I'm really too, or I'm frustrated. Creating a space in your life for your creativity and honouring that, whether that's as an entrepreneur, and keep chipping away at it, man. I've been doing it since my 20s and now I'm in my 40s. And I've started my own arts business, got a fantastic job. I got a text today from an amazing African female writer who's in Magnify saying, thank you, you've changed my life, you're a miracle, all this stuff. You know, out of the blue. I'm like, man, that's my intention when I go to work. And I get filled, you know, it's like, why do you do it? And just honour that. And you know, there's the pressures of life that will come in, but remembering why I'm here, what I want to do. And I think if you come from a good place, you keep chipping away. And at the end of the day, you make this world a better place than, you know, than it was.
Alright, cool. So last question.
Hi, my name is Alex. I just have a question about the council grants. How much can the council influence sort of what content you put into your music? So if you're making hip-hop music and it's a bit offensive, would there be any effect there?
No, just when you write your application, don't go into too much detail.
Yeah, like you can make them quite
Your
broad.
expression.
Yeah.
As long as it's not racist or anything, you're not putting anyone down. But yeah, you can swear, you can do whatever you want. They're not going to monitor or restrict that. It's about your creativity and your expression. And I'm there to help with grant writing. You can just contact me. I just want to develop the skills. And if enough people contact me, I'll get them to run grant writing workshops. You know, it's just that's how it kind of works. Just talk, feedback, and I just set it up.
Because with grant writing, there's also usually a budgeting section, and that is where people, like, it can be really tricky. When I started writing them, I was like, what the hell is this?
And the industry speak sometimes just killed me. Like, I didn't go to uni, and then I'm reading, you know, the government websites and their guidelines, just threw me. And then I learned how to actually break that down in everyday language, and got grants just by writing in everyday language. So.
And with grant writing, I think you also have to remember is people who work in the council aren't always necessarily, like, I think all people are creative, but they don't necessarily understand the business of the creative. So if you make it really, really simple, then it's far more likely to get approved on occasion. Like if you make it so simple that people are like, oh, I understand this. So yeah, so that really.
And in terms of anyone who wants to consider, you know, getting involved in programming, you just send an email to the visual arts officer or the performance curator me, request for a meeting, send through some links of your work, just let us know that you're out there and the conversation starts. So, you know, do that with your life. I'd encourage you to talk to your local council people and introduce yourself. Even if you're a business like Tonight or anything. And a lot of them have youth committees that meet regularly. Send your feedback to the youth committees if you've not been heard via that channel. Our council's got a social survey, social plan that closes on Friday. It's online. If you live in the area, just give your feedback and say you want more arts and cultural stuff for young people. Like, they take that and then create a 5-year plan based on that feedback. So you really, I want you to take one thing that you have a voice as a local resident and a local council. They're there to listen to you as a resident. And I think Blacktown has 40% young people. Man, and that's growing. Like, we have to listen to what's coming from you. And when I'm at that programming table and they want ideas for the next 3 years, I tell them what people are telling me on the ground. So come and talk to me, talk to your people, keep sending them through. And yeah, that's how you make change. Just be heard.
So there's power in numbers. So we should just all fucking like that.
I work at part-time, so I'll let you know that.